Hello, my name is Kiwidia, and today I'll be talking a bit about myself and some of my speeches I'll be doing today. So, first of all, I'd like to talk about what I've been doing recently and some of my hobbies. So, I really love reading and writing. That's something I've been catching up on doing over the last few weeks in my spare time. Some of my favourite books that I like to read is Pride and Prejudice Zombies by Seth Smith, which is a parody of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. And I also like The Mortal Instruments and Harry Potter. And some kinds of music that I like to listen to is a mix depending on the day, really. I like rock, alternative, whimsical music, piano, and on occasion I like the good musical. So, in regards to what your course can offer me, I feel like your course has a variety of skills that I could gain from being a part of your course. I really love how it covers both the classical and the contemporary side of theatre. Like, I love both sides either way. I love William Shakespeare, I love King Lear, A Midsummer's Night's Dream. I also love loads of contemporary theatre as well because, I mean, who doesn't like modern plays? But I also love how it combines both the theory and the practice. And as I have said, I love writing and reading. So I feel like that yours can really help me to put my innovative ideas down on paper. So in regards to that, I will talk about my goal for the future. My goal is to be a drama teacher. It's always something I've wanted to do since I was a kid. I have bounced back a few times, but eventually this is the job I want to go for. And I feel like your course can really get me the experience, the useful skills, and the extensive knowledge to be able to do this course, and to get my job in the future. Um, and that kind of links on to my strengths and my weaknesses, really, because some of my strengths include teamwork. I love working with people in general, which I think is a very significant element of performing because you have to have a good connection and relationship with your fellow cast or actors. And I feel like my ability to put my thoughts on paper is a very important feature as well of theatre, because when it comes to devising pieces, that's something that you will need to be able to do to convey it very clearly. And because of that, I feel like I'm a very creative person, and I can tell you now, I am a very confident person. I will speak out in class, I will put my hand up for anything, and I will offer myself to any kind of activity or after tutorial sessions. However, there are some weaknesses, of course, such as I can be a bit too overdramatic when acting. That is something that I feel like I need to improve upon. But I feel like your course can very much help me with that. And I think as well I need to keep calm a bit most of the time. And what I mean by that is that when you perform a play that's already written by someone, then you can be quite anxious and a bit scared because you feel like I'm going to mess up. And that's sometimes what can happen, but I feel like that's something that everybody really goes through. But I feel like your course will very much help me to improve upon that. And I feel like your course can also help me to understand context better because, not like you said, there's theory behind your course as well, and that's something I also love, but I do need to improve upon context, and your course will be able to help me dig deeper and find those relevant pieces of information that will link towards my play. So now I will be talking about the pieces that I will be doing. I've decided as my classical piece that I'm going to do Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. And the reason I chose this is because it's my favourite William Shakespeare play. It's something that I've always loved watching, whether or not it's on screen, and I've always loved reading the play or going to see it. And I've only ever seen it once, but I still loved it either way. And a little bit of context behind that. Some believe it was based off of a true Italian love story, and I personally do believe that. William Shakespeare wrote this in 1594, and he based his play off of Arthur Brooks's poem in 1562. So that was a bit earlier in his days. And this was a time in the Elizabethan era, or the Renaissance era, where courtly love was a very significant part of society. And what I mean by that is that the father was the head of the family, and he made sure that everything was in order. So anything he said, it went. So what I mean by it links to my monologue is that Juliet is a person longing for freedom, to be able to fall in love with Romeo because he's a Montague and she's a Capulet. They're sworn enemies. And she just wants to love him, but of course her father wouldn't agree. Which is why I feel like this is a very good way to convey her emotions within this monologue. And I think the feeling of longing would carry out into my other monologue, which I'm doing as my modern piece, which is Rutherford and Son by Geetha Sowerby. And I didn't really understand this play in the beginning. However, after reading it probably 2 or 3 times, you start to really hear the way the emotions are conveyed through these different characters. Like, for example, John, who just wants his father to listen and to understand his idea to improve Rutherford's, their business. And it's the same with Janet, who's the character I will be playing in my monologue, because Geetha Sowerby was a feminist herself. And I feel like her herself is very much connected to Jeanette as well, because of that kind of society and class. Because back then, her parents, well, her father, would have been the boss, whereas she would have been just seen as some housewife, some lowly woman in the house. And this also links towards a bit of contextual information about how Geetha Sowerby went under I wouldn't say a false name, but like she presented herself as a male to the society. And because of this, it was a huge hit. Her play, Rutherford and Son, everybody loved it, and there were so many great reviews. But once people started finding out that she was a female, that's when things kind of went a bit downhill. But it's still a very great play. And personally, I loved it. I mean, I loved how it's set in 1912 because it wasn't too far away. And you really do get the feel of it. And the way I'm presenting my monologue is going to be in a way I hope you can feel the emotion in it as well. So other than that, thank you very much.